Hello, I'm Jackie Bradham, and I'm here with a segment of the Western Wisconsin Journal. And today we're going to talk about RiverFest down on the St. Croix River. This is a community-wide celebration, and it'll be this year. It's July 16th through the 20th. And I'm a longtime member of the committee, but today we have with us Einar Hansen, and he is with the Hudson Daybreak Rotary. Einar,
thank you for inviting me, Jack.
Thank you. Let me see. Well, let's start with what is RiverFest. It's a community-wide celebration. It's 5 days, and our slogan is Party with a Purpose, and the river cleanup is our core activity, which is what RiverFest was built out of way back when, in the early 2000s. The Wild Rivers Conservancy wasn't called that then. What was it called back then?
The St. Croix River Association, I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And they had an annual River Awareness Week and a cleanup. And Hudson, they'd have a group of people come out and clean up trash along the riverbank. So that's kind of the original event. And from that, Paul Bourget came up with the idea of let's make this a community celebration, a community event. So back in 2013, that was our first RiverFest. And we get out there, clean the river, and over the years, we've just added more and more programming to it. So now it's a 5-day celebration, trying to get people out, enjoy the river, and build awareness of the need to keep that river clean. So I guess my first question for it is, for the last couple of years, RiverFest has partnered with the Hudson Daybreak Rotary. And can you tell us more about how that came or why that came to be?
Well, it came to be basically because Clarence Malick and Judy Freund tapped me on the shoulder and said, would you be so kind as to see whether or not we could expand the leadership of the RiverFest? And the Hudson Daybreak Rotary leadership was glad to do that. Last year was the first year that I was able to partner with you and sit through all your planning sessions, and basically it felt like taking a drink of water from a fire hose, considering how much you have for planning. But it's always been a great event. We are looking forward to the cleanup this year, 10 o'clock at the Bandshell on Tuesday the 16th, correct?
Correct.
All you have to do, maybe bring some gloves, bring a hat, and there's lunch afterwards, right?
Yep, lunch for the cleanup crew. So
now, we're planning something new with the environmental committee of the Rotary Club this year, is that we're going to have some people bringing their kayaks down.
Oh, cool.
And they're going to have little grabbers so that they can try to expand a little bit along the riverfront in terms of getting trash from them.
So not just riverfront, waterfront.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
They're going to be in the water.
Yes.
Yeah, surprisingly over the years we have had people that waited out a little bit and come up with some interesting things that they pull out of the water. Obviously, we want people to be safe, but there's still a lot of trash that's right.
And some amazing things come out of the water, and if those amazing things get used for
scrappy,
dressing scrappy every year.
So back in what was that? Back in 2013, we had artist Mary Johnson came, and she created this sculpture. It's a metal sculpture of a splashing bass, and his name we named him Scrappy. Had a contest for his name, but he's Scrappy the Splashing Bass. And the trash that we collect on Tuesday for that river cleanup, local artist Liz Milanofi works with volunteers to dress him up in a new skin. So each year, each RiverFest, and sometimes it gets used for down in River Falls. So each year that they have a trash collection, they take off his clothes and give him a new. And
it's sometimes some pretty exotic stuff.
Oh yeah, really strange stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing.
There's always a lot of bottles and cans and plastic bottles and bottle caps and things like that. Sometimes we find like big wads of fishing line, which are really bad for the environment. So boards, shoes, lots of shoes. Every kind of shoe you can think of floating in the river. Right. So there's a lot of trash, and it's really fun to see how Liz can take that trash and turn it into a new look for Scrappy each year. So that's amazing. Fun.
And the day then just continues from there, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. So Tuesday is really fun. So first, like I said, it's a river cleanup, then we have lunch, and then Carpenter Nature Center brings their live animal ambassadors down.
Great, aren't they?
They're great, yeah.
Yeah.
The naturalists know so much, and it's a favorite for the kids because they get to see up close. They'll take those animals around and introduce you one-on-one, or if you're a little afraid of snakes, maybe not one-on-one, but they're really good at and then sharing the knowledge with the kids about these animals that share the environment with us and are here in the St. Croix Valley. So
and then the day will just continue. We will have in another segment Dave Drewski talking about the invasive species program, which will be great. I mean, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I am too. It's a new program, and thanks through the Rotary.
Through the Rotary Club. We got that
initiated
with the DNRs of both Wisconsin and Minnesota. And that's going to be, I think, a very interesting program that I hope continues year on year.
Let's hope the river cooperates and the water goes down a little bit so we can make that happen. Yeah.
Right.
And then in the evening, we have the Toonies Environmental Fun puppet show. That one is a family favorite. Oh gosh, it's been many years that we've been doing that. And Tricia comes with their puppets, and they go through the little puppet play and talk about recycling and reducing waste and ways that kids and families can, help the environment and keep the environment clean. And because a lot of that stuff trash will end up in the river, and keep the environment clean, keep the rivers clean.
And the library is doing some programs with that too, aren't they? I believe that there's also a couple programs that the library is going to be doing with a Mr. Mick, who's going to be doing some water table talks.
Yes, Mr. Mick is kind of a standard program that they have at the library, but he's all about water this year. So he's going to, during RiverFest, he'll have a little session on water. And what were some of the other things? I think they have, I thought there was another event that they had on Tuesday.
Well, I think that's about it, but the other thing that really will be fun will be bring your blanket and bring your kids and play on the grass with the library lawn games, which will be there, while we wait for the movie night.
Yay, movie!
And, well, that movie screen is spectacular. I mean, it's almost more interesting than the movie itself, where they inflate this movie screen that's bigger than the Bandshell.
Yes.
And it's a free event again.
Free family night. Bring the blanket, let the kids run around, play games, and enjoy it. Bring a picnic.
Bring a picnic lunch.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Put them in their jammies.
Put them in their jammies, just like the old style drive-in theater.
I watched the movie last year, and the only issue I had was there were a little bit of mosquitoes, so bring your bug spray, is all I got to say.
Yeah, that might very well be the case.
And I think with all the water this year, that could be an issue, so just be prepared for it. Otherwise, it should be a fun time, and this year's movie is...
Migration. Migration. It's a great movie.
Okay.
So we'll be really looking forward to that. I think
it'll be fun. It's if you haven't watched a movie under the stars like that, it's an experience.
It's always a good time.
Everybody should have that experience.
Absolutely.
Let me see where we're at here.
Well, the next morning will be our Rotary Daybreak panel discussion. We're going to have up at Camp St. Croix at the Royal Credit Union Center. And we're really looking forward to this panel discussion on what is being done and what you can do to try to reduce runoff into the river that's harmful. Mike Mraz of the City of Hudson will be putting on a really good panel discussion about what they're doing right now. It's going to be moderated by Buck Malick, who's been involved with RiverFest since its start. And then he's going to be joined, Buck and Mike are going to be joined by Tara Dunn. Now, Tara works with 4 different farmer groups in western Wisconsin to try to figure out ways in which they can act to help reduce runoff into the rivers. Because basically, the biggest challenge we find in terms of river water quality has to do not with what's happening in the river, but what's happening beside the river.
Okay.
And that has to do with excessive fertilizer, salt, other types of runoff oil that you change in your driveway and fail to properly dispose of. All these things run into the river, and it has a very detrimental effect. Now, Mike and Tara are going to talk about, at this panel discussion, about ways you can help, ways that the city is already doing work on that, way that concerned farmers are already taking action in that manner. There's going to be a continental breakfast at, I believe, 7 o'clock. The panel starts at 7:30, I believe, and goes to 8:30. But come on up. It's a free event. And I believe, actually, I think the breakfast starts at 7:30. But if you're there at 7, there'll be somebody open the door. But it's a free event, and I think it's going to be a very good one.
Yeah, it should be a good discussion because there's so much. There's so much you can do to still, to help the environment and to.
And it doesn't have
as
to be
a homeowner, still have a nice lawn, but still be safe for our environment.
Right.
So after the panel discussion, we have another Wednesday event, and that is the Family Fun Open House out at Carpenter Nature Center. And that's from 1 to 4, and that's at the Wisconsin campus. If you haven't been out to explore the Wisconsin campus, I'd encourage you to go out there.
They have a really nice new building, just gorgeous. I just was out there for the first time this year, and it's really something that people should take advantage of.
So they will have games and activities throughout the day, very family oriented, and it's nice. It should be a great event. Lots to see and do out there, and scavenger hunts for kids and things like that. So another Wednesday event we have.
What was the time on that again?
That's from 1 o'clock to 4.
Okay,
so
1 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
1 to 4 in the afternoon. And another event that they have, that the Hudson Area Library is doing at 9:30 in the morning at White Camp Park. They're going to have their quacktastic story time. So it's an outdoor story time in the park. Lots of fun for the kids. There's, I think, story time and fun and games out there. So that's a fun event for little kids.
Which park is that?
White Camp Park.
Okay.
Okay, so that one's up back behind the water tower off Hanley, up in there.
All right.
I think it's O'Neill Road is what it's on.
Okay.
So our next day of events, the big event for RiverFest is the concert. Can you, have you been to one of the concerts?
I have been to those concerts. They're very enjoyable. The community band from St. Croix, Chris Chernahoy, will be directing once again. And I think that we're doing, I believe a piece was actually penned for the St. Croix River for this event.
St. Croix River Suite, I think is what it's called.
Yes, off a poem that was
Lori
about the St. Croix.
Ullman?
I believe that is correct.
Okay.
So that should be very nice.
I had to dig that one out of my memory.
Very good. You did very good. And prior to that, there'll be booths that you can come and visit for various organizations interested in the river. One is, in which I'm involved with, is the Wild Rivers Conservancy. It's going to have a booth where they'll explain more about what their mission is in terms of taking care of the St. Croix River. People may not always know that, but the lower St. Croix Riverway is part of the Wild and Scenic Rivers National Park. It extends 200 miles up the St. Croix River and the Namakagon River all the way to their start. When you think about that, it's really amazing that we are part of a national park right here in Hudson.
Right here in our backyard.
Right here in our backyard.
And a lot of people aren't aware of that.
So the sister organization to the National Park Service is the Wild Rivers Conservancy, and they try to partner with them, putting on various programs to try to promote the river and its use throughout the year, but especially now in the summer.
Oh yeah. You get out and enjoy that river. That's
Absolutely.
part of why we do RiverFest, is to get people out there and enjoying that river.
Exactly.
And then just building awareness.
Yep.
So if you want to learn more about some of these different events that are happening, I just wanted to mention that you can go to our website at stcroixriverfest.org would be the place where you can learn about all the events and activities. We're just giving a quick overview, but there's so
What was that again? Just one more time for those who are ready. Yes.
stcroixriverfest.org.
Okay.
And go there. We have a page for our sponsor page, and that's the sponsors and partners that help make RiverFest possible. Sponsors are helping us financially.
Oh, it's amazing.
And our major sponsor is Norlake, and they have been with us for several years now. And it takes money and to make these events happen, to market them, to pay for the programming.
But we have literally
There are
dozens of people who are supporting both by giving money and by
and then
giving.
we have the partners that are
and get the partners.
Yeah, the partners that are either providing programming or helping in some way to make the event a success. And like I said, if you go to St. Croix River Fest and then go to the partner sponsor page, you'll see how many people it takes to
And take a moment and say thank you. These people really are a part of making our community what they are.
Yep.
If there wasn't for sponsors like that, these type of events just couldn't happen.
Yeah. And I don't know that, I mean, from the marketing aspect, we always acknowledge our sponsors, but I don't know that people really realize how much sponsors contribute to just all the events in Hudson. It's not just RiverFest, but many others.
Right.
So we covered the band. I'm looking at Friday here. And the things that we have on Friday are the foraging walk, which is the Hudson Grocery Co-op has sponsored the walk. This year it's going to be out at Bluebird Hill again, and for that go to the website and register if you want to attend that one, because it's limited capacity on that. We can only do about 20 people for a foraging walk. We're with local forager Russ Lake, so he's very knowledgeable, and Bluebird Hills is a wonderful place for foraging. Really There's all kinds of things out there.
And kayakers come out to Willow River State Park because we have a naturalist kayaking event. Is that correct?
Yep. That one's at 10 o'clock, and then they're going to do another session at 1:30. And that one they're actually going to...
so 2 sessions, 10 and 1.
10 and 1:30.
Okay.
10 and 1:30, and that one you'll need to register for again.
And they have kayaks out there, don't they?
They have kayaks and canoes that you can rent, and then they're going to paddle up to the Willow River Falls and then float back down. Oh, how fun. So that should be fun.
Yes. Yeah,
that should be a fun activity. I've never done that.
Yeah.
But I think I paddled around Lake Malibu one time many years ago.
Well,
but it'll be a fun event to go up to paddle there. And then
some new things on Saturday.
On Saturday, we're going to do our Native American celebration, which we have done for several years, where we have a powwow-style celebration with singing and dancing and drums. So this year we've got the St. Croix Chippewa Indians of Wisconsin coming again, and they always do an awesome job for us. And then we have a new group that are Ho-Chunk Nation, which is new for RiverFest, and they are the Iron Mountain singers and dancers. Oh, how fun. So it's kind of interesting to see the different regalia, because they're not costumes. I've been told many times it's not costumes, they're regalia, and it's interesting to see the different styles from the different nations and tribes. So that one is from 1 to 4 on Saturday, the July 20th, and in addition to that, we have a new event where we're going to do a little dive into indigenous cuisine.
Easy for you to say.
My tongue didn't want to wrap around that one.
Right.
So Native American culinary, we have a cooking class with Ann Thundercloud, and she is an apprentice at Wild Berries down in Madison. And Wild Berries is an indigenous group that is connecting food and community. So there's going to be another Western Wisconsin Journal session on that. So you can tune in and you can learn in even more. We'll get very specific at that. But so Ann Thundercloud is going to be the chef that's coming in, and she'll have a cooking class at Grand Fete. So if you actually want to learn how to cook with her, I think it's a tart that has wild rice type pudding in it, wild rice pudding, and then fresh berries on top. So it should be delicious. Yeah, sounds so great. Really sounds that's good. A fun class, and you can sign up for that on
what time is that?
grandfetshop.com, and that's at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
So, and the other thing that we have coming with Ann is a meet and greet. We've been partnering with Black Rooster Bistro, downtown Hudson.
Yes.
And they're going to have a meet and greet with Ann. So from 4 to 5, you can come down and meet her. And then also, the Black Rooster is going to offer an Indigenous-based menu item. So from July 18th to the 21st, if you want to come and sample some stuff that they've collaborated with Anne to create this menu item.
So that would be Thursday through
Sunday. Yeah.
Thursday through Sunday.
Sunday,
All right.
while supplies last. So
Yes,
I don't know
yes,
how
of course.
popular. I don't know how popular it is. So get in there on Thursday. No,
That's
just
right.
saying.
That's right.
If you really want to see that.
Yeah.
So. Though that's just
Wow.
a brief, quick overview of all the
So many
stuff
events.
that's happening.
So much fun.
Lots of fun, and
Yeah.
there's several things we didn't mention, but these are the main highlights. Again, go to St. Croix RiverFest .org. Yes, and that's where you can find all the details on all the events. So all the events are
Wonderful.
listed there, and if there are any changes or updates, that's where you're going to find that information. So. In conclusion, I'd just say come join us at St. Croix RiverFest
it's
here in
gonna be a
Hudson,
great time.
Wisconsin.
It's going to be a great time.
Yep, July 16th through the 20th in Hudson, Wisconsin. And there's just activities and events for people
By
of
that
all
time,
ages.
the rain will be stopped.
And the rain is going to be
The rain
stopped.
It's going to be stopped by
yes.
then. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. And let's pray the river goes down, because I want to see that. I want to see that boat, the DNR boat shocking
Yes,
demonstration.
yes,
I
I
just
think
think
that's
that
gonna
would
be
be
great.
so
That'll be
interesting to
fun.
see.
Yeah, it is.
Um,
That's
so-
3 to 5 o'clock on Tuesday, just for those. Yep.
Yep,
Okay.
just a recap. So,
Okay,
yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you at St. Croix RiverFest.
sounds good.
Yeah, thank you for watching another episode of Western Wisconsin Journal.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
inviting me.
Yep.